Hey friends, it's Miss Patty at the Art Circle Library once again, coming to you with another story. This one is Little Red Riding Hood. Now it's a little different than some of the versions that you may have heard before. So, and what do all good stories start with? Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived with her mother in a nice little cozy cottage in a town. And they just had such good times together. And her mother made her a beautiful red cape with a little hood that she could flip up or put down if the day was nice. And she wore it everywhere she went. Even in the summer when it was really hot. She felt like it kept her cool to have her cape on. So one day, her mother had gotten a message from grandmother saying that grandmother wasn't feeling very well and could they please come and check on her, or she'd like to have a bowl of their famous chicken noodle soup. Could they send her some or bring some by or something? And the mother thought and thought, and she started to make the soup and fixed it up. And when Little Red Riding Hood came in, she said, "Red Riding Hood, I have a job for you today. I have to work and I'm a little busy today, but I've made this wonderful chicken noodle soup for grandmother, and I would like for you to take it to her. She said she's not feeling very well, and I know she would cheer up and feel much better if you brought her some soup and visited with her for a little while. Then I'll come and pick you up later." So Red Riding Hood, they packed the soup in a nice little container. They put it in their basket. They added some treats and they put in some things to make a little sandwich if grandmother wanted a sandwich with her soup. And then they put in a nice little container of lemonade. Oh, it was a nice little basket full of goodies. So the cover was put on, and then they had a little lid that went on the basket. So Red Riding Hood trooped out the door, and as she went out the door, her mother said, "Now, Red, don't talk to anybody on the way. Remember, just go straight on the path to grandmother's house." "I will, Mama, I promise." So she set out in the direction of grandmother's house. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. And she sang down the path. And all of a sudden, she looked over just right next to the path. There were some beautiful flowers. And she stopped to smell them. She thought, "I bet grandmother would like some flowers too for her table." So she reached down, and all of a sudden, there was this big hairy foot right next to the flowers. And she stood up and looked up, and there was a wee, big, scruffy wolf. Ooh. And he growled and said, "Hello, Red." She thought, how does he know my name? "What are you doing today?" "I'm just out for a walk in the woods." "Aren't those flowers beautiful? Oh, I could show you a whole field full that are even more beautiful than these." "Well, I need to stay on the path. You see, I'm going to grandmother's house. She's not really feeling very well today, and I have a basket of goodies for her. And Mama said I would cheer her up and the soup would make her better." "Oh, well then, I'll let you be on your way." Well, so she thought, "Oh, I talked to somebody and I shouldn't have talked to him because he's a scary wolf. Well, I'll pick the flowers and I'll put them in my basket and I'll hurry on to grandmother's." So she went as quickly as she could, but the wolf, he was a little faster. He got to grandmother's house first. He knocked on the door. Grandmother, thinking it was Little Red, said, "Come in, my dear." Well, when the door opened and grandmother saw that great big snoot coming in, she jumped out of the bed and she ran and locked herself in the closet. And he looked around and he said, nice house. I think I'll stay a while. So he thought, little Red's coming with that basket of goodies, so I better be disguised when she gets here. So he found in the drawers one of Grandmother's hats and he put it on. And he found one of her nightgowns and he put that on. And then he snuggled down in the nice cozy bed and he drew the covers up so Red might not recognize him when she came in. And she got there and knocked on the door really quick. Come in, my dear. She thought, that doesn't sound like Grandmother. Maybe she's a little sicker than what we thought. So she walked in and she said, Grandmother, how are you today? Well, Grandmother, you've got the biggest ears all of a sudden I have ever seen. Well, I can hear you. I can hear you very well with these ears, dear little Red. Oh, my. Why, Grandmother, your eyes, they're so bright and shiny. My goodness, I've not seen your eyes that sparkly before. Well, my dear, said the wolf in disguise, my eyes are shiny because I'm so happy to see you. Oh, my. And the wolf smiled real big. Oh, my, Grandmother, your teeth are looking awful big. Oh, my goodness. I didn't remember your teeth were so big. Oh, dear. And the wolf thought, here's my moment. My teeth are so big, dear little Red. They're the bigger, the better to eat you with. Ah! And the little Red screamed really, really loud. And outside, coming through the path at that very moment, was a woodcutter with his axe. He ran into the house. He chased the wolf out the door and down the path, and nobody ever saw the wolf again. Granny came out of the closet. Oh, she was just shaking and so weak, and they had to change all the bedclothes from where the wolf had been laying in the bed. So they changed all the bedclothes and got Grandmother back in her nice cozy bed. And they were both so happy. And they thanked the woodcutter and gave him a few treats out of the basket. And then Mother came to get little Red, and they told her the story. And she was so thankful that they had not been hurt by the wolf and that the woodcutter had chased the wolf away. Oh my goodness, what a tale. Now, friends, what you're going to get in your envelope, you're going to get the story, which I embellished a little. Do you know embellish? That's the word that means you make up a little bit extra to go with it. So I made up a little extra to go with the story that I'm giving you. And you'll have a picture of Little Red and her basket and a door, which is Granny or Grandmother's door, however you like to say it. And here's a bed and another door, which is a closet door. And here is the woodcutter and the wolf and a small table like that Red would have put the basket on. And this is the extra nightgown. And this is the extra nightcap. And this is Grandmother or Granny. Okay? So that's what you're going to get. And I wanted to show you also that for the ones that are birth to age 3, you will get the flannel pieces again. For your little flannel board, you can use the same one that you made with the little pig story the other day. And the older ones, ages 4 to 6, will get craft sticks so you can do a puppet show with this. And that will be a lot of fun. Now I wanted to show you, because last time I mentioned something about close cutting. And like, see, this is my door that I did. And you'll see that I just kind of cut around. I didn't cut really close on the lines to the door. I just cut around the door. And I thought that's maybe what you all could do too. And you'll see on my little page, I wanted to see what color of blue this crayon was. So I made a little mark here so I could see if that's color of blue I was looking for or not. And for the younger ones, they can just cut around. If they cut close, that's fine. If they cut on the line, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. If they cut it up, tape it back together. It's okay. So there's my little basket I cut out. So you can do that kind of thing. So there's my little red, and she's got a red cape on. And this is my pieces. That's the colors that I chose to use for my story. And you'll see here again, I used the colors up here at the top. I wanted to see what colors these crayons were because they look very similar. And I wanted to see what they look like to see which one I wanted to use. So you can do that close cutting, cutting on the big dark line, doing it finely if you're a little older. And did you see how I used my scissors? My thumb goes in the top hole. I had some fingers in the bottom part. So you can see it better that way. And you pull out and in and out and in. Okay? So just work with your little people on those scissor skills. And you can put the felt pieces on the backs. On the backs of your things. Like right here, you can put a couple of felt pieces and it'll stick right on the felt board or the flannel board. Or if you're a little older and you cut a little closer and not leave so much white space, your craft stick can just stick right on the back. You can glue it with a little glue, put a little piece of tape over there to help it, and then you will have it to do your show with. Okay? And you can decide what colors you want your things to be. This just happens to be what mine turned out like as I was working through and using the crayons that I had available. Now you all have in your little bags, you all have some markers, crayons, and some colored pencils. You also have some watercolors. If you think you might like to watercolor your things, you just use a little bit of water and put it on your brush and swirl around in the color and paint your picture, okay? So that's something new you might try. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's not been too long and too boring. But if it has, then you can turn it off and you don't have to watch this part. It's okay. It's fine. But I hope you're still reading. Keep going. Put your books on the Reader Zone app. We're doing really well. We have almost 1,000 books read so far. So that's very exciting. I'm very proud of you all. And if you're thinking, Reader, we thought we just signed up on there. Oh no, that's track your reading, big people. Track your reading of your little people on there. It's really easy. If you have any questions, just call here at the library and we'll walk you through it. All right, friends. I will see you all later. Have a great day.